Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a flower dissection and in particular the lily. I'm going to explain the main parts of a flower and their functions. Flowers are the reproductive structures of plants and each part plays an important role in reproduction. The lily is a great example because its reproductive structures are large and clearly visible. Like all flowers, the lily is responsible for plant reproduction. We are using a lily because it's one of the best flowers for dissection. The parts of the lily are large and easy to see and easy to separate compared to most other flowers. Lily flowers, they clearly show both the male and the female parts, which we're going to look at in a bit. And they are a good example of a complete flower. Some materials that you'll need for the flower dissection will be obviously your fresh lily flower, a dissection tray or plate, some forceps or tweezers. I just have a big one here. A scalpel or small knife, scissors, a hand lens, maybe some toothpicks, or I have some dissecting pins here, and some paper towels and maybe gloves. The gloves are optional but helpful because the lily pollen can stain. Your lab handout or piece of paper. Now before I start taking it apart, you can see that this lily has large colorful petals and prominent reproductive parts in the center. Just to show you how it's attached, just to show you, this will be your stalk, your leaves. So now we're just going to concentrate on the flower bit. This one has a little bud. First, I'm going to remove the outer parts. Now in lilies, the sepals and petals look very similar. So they're actually called tepals or tepals. Now, if we take a look, we have 1, 2, 3. So these big ones are the petals. And if we look again, we have 1, 2, 3 smaller ones. Now, the smaller ones are known as your sepals or sepals, and the bigger ones are your petals. Now, it's the colorful petals or tepals that help attract pollinators like bees with their bright color, and they also protect the flower when it is developing. So as we remove, we're going to place it on the paper. Gently pull off or cut each petal or sepal and lay them flat on your surface. As you saw, we have 3 sepals and 3 petals. These parts mainly serve to attract pollinators. Next, we are going to remove the male and female parts of the plant at the base. But before we look at the stamens, let's get our gloves. You'll see several long, slender structures with dusty tips. These are the stamens, the male reproductive parts of the flower. Each stamen consists of an anther at the top, which produces pollen, and the filament or the stalk. If you touch the anther, you'll notice the yellow or orange powder. That's the pollen. Now, before we look at the female reproductive parts, we are going to look at how the pistil is attached to the receptacle. The receptacle is the base of the flower. It is a part at the top of the stem where all the floral organs attach. That is the petals, stamens, and the pistil. Now, using your scalpel or knife, cut around this location to show the pistil on its receptacle. As you can see, the pistil usually stands taller than the stamens. It has 3 main parts. The stigma at the top is often sticky to catch pollen. The style is the tube-like structure. And the ovary is found at the base. This is the part that contains the ovules. In lilies, the ovary sits in what is called the superior position. That means the ovary is located above the point where the petals and stamens are attached. If you look closely at the base of the lily after removing the petals and stamens, you will notice that those parts all connect slightly below the ovary. The ovary itself sits on top of the receptacle, almost like it is perched above the other structures. The stigma often looks enlarged or textured. It is coated with a sticky, sometimes shiny substance. This stickiness plays a crucial role in reproduction. When pollen grains are transferred to the flower, usually by insects, bees, or by wind, they need to land and stay in place long enough to begin the process of fertilization. Now, in order to see the ovules, we need to cut open the ovary. This can be done either lengthwise or via cross-section. I'm going to do mine via cross-section. So to cut a cross-section, maybe let's do it here. We just need a very, very thin slice. across. So very thin slice across it. And now to make our wet mount, we would take our microscope slide. So here's our microscope slide. And we're just going to put the cut ovary just right there in the middle. Using a wash bottle or a dropper, just add about 1 to 2 drops of water and then cover with a cover slip. Okay, and we will put the cover slip at about a 45-degree angle and just put it on there. Right, and also we can do the same for our pollen. So to create a wet mount for our pollen, again we have a microscope slide. Now to create a wet mount for the pollen, you just take one of the anthers and you can just use your scalpel or knife and just lightly scrape off some of the pollen onto your slide like that. And then again, using a dropper or your wash bottle, just add a couple drops of water and then cover with your cover slip. Now if you take a look at the cross section of your ovary, you will see a dense green area in the center, towards the center. So it will be in this area that you should be able to see your ovules. If you look at it under light microscope, these will be your ovules here. And here's the pollen under the light microscope. So you can see the oval parts. And so just to talk a little bit about pollination and fertilization, when the pollen from the anther lands on the stigma, it begins to grow a tiny tube called a pollen tube. This tube travels down through the style towards the ovary at the base of the flower. When the pollen tube reaches the ovule, it delivers male reproductive cells. One of these cells fuses with the egg cell inside the ovule, and this fusion is called fertilization. In conclusion, dissecting the lily helped us clearly see the different parts of a flower and its role in reproduction. This shows how important flowers are in the life cycle of plants. So thanks for watching and see you on the next one. Bye!